Welcome to Super Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today we have with us Orlando Spado. How are you, Ori?
Good morning, Shahid. How you doing up there in Toronto?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show.
My pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, it's a real honor, to have you because of your busy schedule and to make time for us and everyone else. Your message is inspiring, and we want to kind of make sure more and more people hear you and hear what you're all about and what's going on and all the amazing things that you're involved with. I just want to kind of allow you to introduce yourself to everyone, please.
Okay. Well, everybody, my name is Orlando Spado. I'm known as the Accidental Gangster. I authored the book, The Accidental Gangster. It's a 2-time best-selling book. I was born in upstate New York, not far from Toronto, actually, in a little city called Rome, New York. Great family, mom and dad, not a lot of money, very humble beginnings. At the age of 18, I joined the United States Army, served probably for 3 years, was honorably discharged. I went back to Rome, and I ended up in the insurance business with a Prudential insurance company, where I became a leading agent and a member of the $1 Million Roundtable. After that I began my own insurance agency, and it ended up becoming my first indictment in federal court out of Syracuse. And they call that was mail fraud. I ended up pleading guilty to stopping payment on a check, and I got 5 years probation. But through the years, I got to know people such as Meyer Lansky, Frank Costello, Russell Buffalino, Carlo Marcello, to eventually meeting Sonny Franchise, the underboss of the Colombo crime family in New York, where Sonny and I became very close friends for over 40 years, until his death a little over a year ago at the age of 103.
Wow.
Since I ended up doing 5 years in prison got arrested in June 2008 on RICO indictment. RICO is racketeering influence corrupt organization, all right, which is the best tool that they use against organized crime here in the United States. I ended up doing 5 years in prison. Upon my release, I had 4 years of very strict supervised release, and I ended up writing my book. And in my book, folks, you read my book, at the end of the book and my epilogue, I ask for everybody to reach out, hold hands, because together we are all brothers and sisters in this world. And let's make this world a better place. And with that I've been helping young men and women, mentoring them to stay out of a life of crime, to get the college education or get a trade. But, I teach them that crime does not pay. And I've been very successful at that. In my book, I say, if I helped one young person, then my book was well worth it. And I've helped several. In addition, I just recently, last week, I did a fundraising for food finders out of Long Beach. They've been in business for over 30 years to help feed the hungry. And that's one thing. In the United States here, we have 53 million people who go to bed every night starving, have no food.
I was thinking about that the other day.
And, I don't know how it is in Canada, but that should not happen in this country.
Globally, I mean, right? So
globally, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But, when the rest of the world looks at us here in the United States, they're asking, why do we have food line? Why do we
Yeah.
have all these homeless people here in this country? Which will bring me right back to Washington, D.C., to the U.S. House of Representatives. And in my book, at the end of my book, folks, there are letters. All right? Some letters written to people who have been deceased, some to my family members who are alive. But the very last letter is to the United States House of Representatives. So the next thing that I've been getting involved in, and I've been working very diligently at, is getting some of these laws that we have in the United States, because we have the highest incarceration rate in the world. The United States is 5% of the world's population, but yet we house 25% of the world's inmates. Here in the United States, incarceration is business. It's a big business. So you don't have in prison, you don't have enough schooling to teach the inmates that when they come out of prison, how to get back into society, to have a job, be trained at something. They don't do that in our prisons. And I'll tell you a funny story. I mean, a friend of mine up in Canada, he did time in Canada. He was telling me about the prisons there. I said, holy Christ, I'll leave right now. All right. I mean, it sounded so great. Okay, compared to what we have over here. They were able to order food in on Fridays. They had TVs in their cells. Okay. And you guys do it a lot differently up there than we do here in this country, as well as Germany and other countries, okay, where people come out of prison, they don't go back. But in this country, you're nothing but $1 on your head. They want you to come back because it's big money. And we have a lot what they call private prisons. So that's a whole new thing. I've been fighting these illegal laws that are on. I did 5 years for a 924C gun charge. Now you got to mind you, it was a conspiracy. Nobody saw me with a gun in my hand. An informant said he saw me give a gun to somebody else, which he never did see me. Okay. But yet I got charged with a gun charge, and I did 5 years. That's a minimum mandatory sentence, 5 years, 60 months. 2 years ago, the U.S. Supreme Court said that is illegal and unconstitutional and needs to be vacated from all records. People who were in prison were getting released who had that charge. No, I already done my 5 years. They can't give it back to me. So, I mean, you know, what good is it for me? But that's just a sample of what's going on here in the United States. So I'm doing a lot of good. I'm trying to help people. The Los Angeles Tribune coming out with a magazine next month. I'm on the front cover, from gangster to humanitarian.
Yes, beautiful.
And those are the things that I'm doing.
So what do you do with the kids, for example? Do you work with like kids in like high schools, or do you have a specific program? Like, how does it work if someone wants to reach out?
Well, it's ironic. I've been invited to several high schools, but now it's summer vacation, so I got to wait until they get back in school. And with the COVID, they didn't have it.
No.
Okay. What I've been doing is people mentoring. I have a lady coming in Monday from New Jersey, okay, who wants me to talk to her son, who just got out of prison and he's finding it difficult, okay, to get into. He's a young man. Mm-hmm. Those kind of things, you know.
Yeah.
I talk directly with these people. I also talk with the parents because, you know, these things got to begin at home. You got to have the support of your family first. You know, I was blessed. I had 3 children. They were right there for me. And without them, I'd probably be still in a life of crime. I would have gone right back to it.
Yeah.
I would have had no choice. Because at my age, particularly when I got out, I was 73 years old, 68 years old. You know, nobody's going to hire me at 68. But what choice did I have but go back to what I knew in the streets? But, you know, my kids were there for me. They helped me. They supported me. So, you know, I had that backing up. A lot of people, a lot of young men do not have that when they come out of prison.
No.
So, you know, I try to get them that support. If they don't have a family, I look elsewhere for organizations that do help them out and so forth.
Do you think that our media, like movies and information that they're influenced by, has something to do with what happens when they become adults or older and teenager, young adult?
Well, Shane, that's a very good question. You know, like I told you, I was born in Rome, New York.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 brothers, 3 sisters. We lived in a duplex home. My grandparents, my aunts and uncles lived next door. My mother cooked for everybody every evening, 13 people. I had to be at that dinner table every night. If I wasn't there, I got a beating. Okay? I was there every night. All the kids were.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, being with a family and having that dinner is very, very important. Now, I was born at a time when things were different. We didn't have all this technology. And, you know, I was born at a time where, you know, my mother was a mother. She took care of the house. Mm-hmm. She cooked, she cleaned. Okay. Slowly but gradually that began changing. Okay. You had the husband and wife both working. You know, I remember when you drive by a house, you were lucky if they had 1 car. Then all of a sudden there's 2 cars in every driveway. All right. And then nowadays you drive by, there's 4 or 5 cars.
4 or 5 cars.
Each kid's got one, right?
Yep.
I mean, and so the parents are not home with their children for dinner. The children are, oh, just put something in the microwave oven. I'll be home later. That's not being a parent. If you want to have children, you want to bring children into this world, then be there for them. Because you teach a child from an early age of what they're going to become. And they don't have that life, you don't know what's going to happen to them. So what do we have today in society? We got kids that got, as soon as the kid talk, the parents get them a cell phone, a computer, and they're playing games all day. And a lot of these games are not good. Here in the United States, look at all the shootings we're having in all the major cities going on right now as you and I talk. Mm-hmm. Young kids killing each other.
Yeah.
All right. Is it the guns? They say it's the guns. They say there's too many guns.
It's the money.
But yet, take the country of Albania. You can go to every single home in Albania, and in every home there's a gun, a rifle.
Yeah.
But you don't have the killings on the streets. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they don't have all the medicines we have. Mm-hmm. All right? Their child's got a problem. The father might give them a spanking. All right? Over here in the United States, you got to bring them to the doctor, and the doctor gives you medication. All that medication you're doing is making your situation worse. It's taking away from one thing, but it's giving you other things. And we got too much medications in this country. You know, that's a big thing. We got an uphill battle to fight this.
Yeah. It's tough, you know, like for me, like these video games are so violent, and then the movies, you know, I understand it's like it's business, you know, this is what people are gravitate to, they like it, but I think it's causing a lot of damage when it comes to what they feel like in their subconscious mind. It's like reprogramming all that violence, movies, you know, especially as boys. they're just so attracted to those kind of games and those kind of movies and those kind of shows. And the media, we just keep developing. So I think it stems for me, like, I think it has a big backing to what's happening, this media and everything.
I mean, I don't play games, but I get these texts, play this game, play that. You don't play them.
Yeah.
But the kids are.
Yeah. Yeah. So with the book, so in the book, I didn't get a chance, but I'm definitely going to be picking it up from Amazon and reading it. You have an audio version too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna get the audio because that's what I prefer.
Well, send me your email. I'll send you the audio.
No, I'm gonna purchase. I want to support, because it's such a good cause and everything. So I'm definitely gonna pick it up. And so is this like filled with all your basically your stories, from your life? Because I love that. You have articulated everything.
Everything in here is from my life.
Wow.
Every word in here is the truth. Now, there's a lot in there that's not in my life. And I'm happy to announce that a screenwriter has written a dynamite script. He spent a lot of time with me. His name's David Steno. A lot of time.
A movie?
And a movie. George Gallo, a famous writer-director, will be directing it.
Awesome.
And right now they're getting a budget.
Amazing.
I mean, everybody's crazy about the way this kid wrote it. And the way he did it was, it begins with stuff that's not in the book.
Ooh.
And it's told through the voice of my son, Anthony, over here.
Ah.
Because Anthony moved in with me in 1999. Up to that point, I always lived by myself. My son at the college came and lived with me here in Los Angeles. So he's been with me on a lot of things. He's not involved in the crime. Uh-huh. I never would allow my children to be involved. Uh-huh. But, it's telling a story through the eyes of my son. So it's really a great script. And they'll be casting it right after the budget. The budget will be ready probably, hopefully, next Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, please let me know when that comes. I guess it's going to be out everywhere. It's going to be big news. That'll be an exciting movie to watch. Is it going to be Netflix or is it theaters or Netflix? Like which platform?
Theaters.
Wow.
Theaters.
Are you going to play it yourself later at the end? No.
I don't know. They got my voice in there.
Oh, that's awesome. You got an awesome voice. I hear you on Clubhouse. It's just so it's so amazing because the stuff that you're saying helps people. So when you have that kind of voice, you're making an effect on people because they're going to gravitate to the information you're sharing. So there's a reason for it, everything just molded together nicely.
Yeah.
So how did you go from insurance sales into that life? Like, how did that transition? Are you able to share?
Like anything, it was a graduate thing. Through the year, I was meeting these people. But as a kid, I was always a hustler. When I got indicted in Syracuse, New York, my insurance license was taken from me.
Yeah.
And I had to make a living. So, I just started doing other things, and I was hustling. And slowly but surely, I was groomed and then meeting Sonny Franchise there, and then Jimmy Cacci here in Los Angeles, who was the underboss out here. So I'm like in between two underbosses in different parts of the country. It was a crazy scenario.
Yeah. Did you get, you must have gotten lucky too, because meaning not lucky, but avoided like anything major. Thankfully, you're here right now today with us. So, thank God that you didn't have, and nothing happened to you, right, through that journey.
No, nothing happened. I'm fortunate to be here. I'm blessed to be here. I lived through it. Okay, and this is one thing I tell the young people. All right, your only choices is either to live, die, or you're gonna go to prison. And if
Yeah.
you want to live, you gotta get out of it.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you're gonna end up in the trunk of a car or prison.
Yeah.
And that's the only choices. And you can't beat the law enforcement agency of the country no more. Okay? You can't do anything without anybody knowing what you're doing. They got cameras on the street.
Everywhere now.
Everybody's got a phone in their hand. They take pictures immediately.
Yeah.
So forget about it.
Well, the future is going to
Okay.
give, like, every corner is going to have cameras, right? Like facial recognition, and like China already has that technology. But
China's got it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah. Are you going to be going into any business because you're still young? You're still going at it. I know you work all day. I'm in your rooms in the clubhouse. I hear you. So, are you any plans for any business?
My business nowadays is, I was known as the Hollywood fixer.
Yeah.
All right. I'm very good at taking problems, negotiating deals. And I still do a little bit of that. I get called upon for me to talk to somebody and take care of a problem, which I do. But my whole goal is towards making this world a better place and helping the youth out in this country.
That's such a great cause.
And anywhere else in the world. I help a young man out in Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it don't make a difference where they are. Okay, because you got crime throughout the world.
Throughout the world.
But they contact me through Instagram, Facebook, and then we start talking to each other. And I see what their family life is like, what their environment's like, and so forth. And they know they got somebody they can talk to.
Yeah. And it's when I heard you on Clubhouse, when you in a room and stuff, and right away I had like such a intuitive feeling that I have to get your message out. Like, I want to bring it out because I have 3 kids, right? So I know the influence is out there, and what you're doing is exactly what we need nowadays, especially when things start opening up after COVID and stuff. I just have a bad feeling of everybody and their mindset, where they are, what's happening with them being indoors that long, right? So my mission as well is about mindset, getting them aware of their powers. So what you do is getting them aware that, you know what, don't take those steps, right? If you back on the streets, be careful. What would be that specific type of message you could give in a sentence to someone that is, has a job, he's working, but he just he's really enticed to do some side hustle, criminal activities, something fishy, like, hey, I could do this the rest of my life, make some extra money. But that person does get caught. So is there some kind of recommendation, something you could tell that person that you could share with them if they're going in the right direction or not?
Let me tell you something. Everybody wants more and more. They want to help their neighbor. They want a bigger car, a bigger house, all that stuff. Let me tell you one thing I learned in prison. Okay? I don't need all the clothes that I used to have to go out and buy. I used to buy so many clothes, I never wore them. The cars, I don't need a fancy car. I'm very content where I'm living here. Yeah, I'm in Beverly Hills, but I got a nice 1-bedroom place, living room, dining room. I'm happy. Okay? You don't need all of these things. What you need is love and to be happy. Money is not going to make you happy. Money makes your life a little bit better, yes. But if you're going to go out and think you're going to get away with that one score, and you think it's worth it for you, you think you're going to be on easy street, well, let's take that easy street inside of a prison, because that's where you're going to end up. And do you think it's worth it? Okay, doing time in prison, any prison in the world, I call it a waste of time.
Waste of
Our
time.
most valuable asset that we have is time.
Agree.
All right? Why waste time? Because you're going to be gone. We're a blimp in time here on this earth. I just had a very dear friend of mine. A few weeks ago, we were talking, everything's great. Today, they're burying him back in New York. All right, cancer. He died of cancer. All right. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
So why not make the best of every moment you have while you're here?
Every moment.
Yeah. Be happy. Stay positive.
Yeah.
You remember, everything we do begins in here, in our head, in our mindset.
Yes. Yes. Do you think about the time that you lost, like being in for that long? Do you think about that time that, what are your feelings that you have about that time that was wasted?
You heard me talk before. I don't have any regrets.
Mm-hmm.
Because regrets are negative feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing that I could do about the past, except that I learned from the past. I learned that doing life in prison is a waste of time. But, I had to do that time. I did it. Mm-hmm. Okay? I did not inform against anybody. I went in, did my time, got out. Mm-hmm. But why waste your time? 5 years in prison. 5 years, the average person, if they live 75, that's almost 10% of your life.
That's a big chunk.
Yeah. So why waste it? Why waste the most valuable asset you have?
Why waste? It's so true. We take everything that's given to us, or if it's free, we don't have value for it, right? Like if we just even look at our bodies, like human body is so phenomenal, but we don't sit there, oh, I'm so grateful for my heart. I'm so grateful for my head. We don't do those things, right? We don't look at these things. They're so precious.
Look, I'm so grateful for the little things that I have. In our prison here, what the most valuable thing in prison was? All right. The day before I was getting released, what everybody asked me for was my leftover roll of toilet paper.
Oh, my God.
Now, when you think about that there.
Yeah.
All right. We used to get one roll every 2 weeks up in Lampo. You look at my closet. I got about 40 rolls. It's just a mental thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Abundance.
My son said, Dad, why? I said, because I could.
I can. That's the beauty part of it, right? When you can, why not?
Right.
Yeah. Because you face lack. That was a lack. And then now that you can, you want abundance. That's good.
I mean, people wanted that before my mattress, my pillows, or anything else. So, when you don't have these little things that you're so accustomed to and they're taken away from you, it's not just your rights. It's just not the time you're doing in prison, but it's everything else that's taken away from you. Mm-hmm. And you got to listen to somebody that's more than likely don't have any education at all. They're lucky they could read. And you got to take orders from those people. The guards. So
this ladies and gentlemen, whoever's listening in the audience, we love you guys. Like we love you dearly, and we're telling you, listen to Mr. Spado and just hear these things, that if you're making a decision of anything that could take away the most precious thing, time, remember this voice that you're hearing of Mr. Spado. I just say no. I just stop. If you're involved in anything, stop. Just find a solution. Your mind is so powerful. You can create anything from it. Anything. You can have everything in your life. You don't have to go that route.
I like to tell everybody, anybody, all right, that wants to purchase my book, if they go to my website, theaccidentalgangster.com, purchase this book. It's $19.95. I will autograph it personally, and I will send you a free audio book.
Okay. I'll do it today for sure.
For the price of one, that's at my website.
Okay.
All right. And for all you folks in Canada who are listening, you could also get the same thing, but you won't get an autograph one. But you can go to coastalwest.ca. My publishing company is in Canada. So if you want to purchase my book, I prefer going to accidentalgangster.com, of course. Okay.
But in Canada, we can't buy from your website, you're saying?
You can buy, no, you buy it on my website in Canada.
Okay.
Okay. But my publisher, their website is COA at coastalwest.ca.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. No, definitely. That's great information. We always like to ask what your inner superpower is that got you to this point in your journey.
My mindset.
Oh, good.
My mindset. I stay in a positive mode. I try to make somebody's day happy every day. And when I wake out of bed, I begin with a happy day. Okay, that I want to make this world a better place.
Beautiful.
And and I pray that I'm so grateful for, my children, my grandchildren, all my relatives, everybody has been there. And, I'm so grateful for the things that I do have. I don't think about the things I do not have, but be grateful for what you have.
So true.
You add up everything you have, it outweighs way more what you don't have.
So true. Agree.
Yeah.
Well, Ori, has been incredible having this casual conversation with you, getting to know you face to face, but more virtual face to face. I am grateful to have come and cross paths this way, to have you on my show. I'm definitely gonna love to have you on again once your whatever exciting things are happening. Let me know. Our audience will love to hear from you. And at the end of the day, what you're doing is so amazing. Like I want to support. Like it's so needed. It's so needed. So
I appreciate you. Yeah. This has been a real pleasure. We will do it again. You're a good man.
You too.
Good father. Good family. All right. I love people like yourself.
Thank you.
And remember, make sure your children are home for dinner every night.
Yes, will do. Thank you so much, Ori. Have a great day.